Hello and welcome to Community Connections with the North Little Rock Public Library. I'm Kevin, Communications Specialist, and I'm here with a very special guest. It's Aaron Reddin from the van. Aaron, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Aaron's been here before. The reason we've got him back is because there's a very big event that's going to be happening for our homeless community on October 21st. It's called the Unsheltered Outreach Fair. And Aaron, kind of describe what's going to be going on at this event.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks to the City of North Little Rock and Officer Rathy, the Unsheltered Liaison for the City of North Little Rock. They put together the second annual Unsheltered Outreach Fair coming up on the 21st. They've got a whole plethora of folks, services coming together underneath the
Main Street Bridge.
The Main Street Bridge. Yeah. Came together last year with all kinds of social services, from River City Ministries to the van to, you name it. I can't even.
There were people out there giving out big plates of food. There's one group that does hot dogs, and I wish I could recall who it is.
Top Dog.
Exactly. They did that. There were haircuts for people that needed haircuts. I know that the van was there. You guys were doing different types of clothing. I saw people with duffel bags, because you've got to think about somebody, if they're in that situation, they're unsheltered, they don't necessarily have something to carry their belongings in, what belongings they have. And so the duffel bags went very quickly. I noticed the backpacks go quickly too. But it's just a little bit of everything. Mental health services, some basic healthcare needs, that's all a part of this. Why is reaching out to the unsheltered population so important?
It's really important this time of year. It's a great time as the seasons change, where you feel the temperatures drop as you get ready, and you're stepping out the door for work or getting ready for school in the morning time, and we're getting ready for winter time at the van, as the seasons change, and when you're unsheltered and you're sleeping outside, it's brisk out there. And so it's important that we get everyone ready for the changing of the seasons and get ready for winter time. We want to alleviate as much frostbite. We see that happen in the wintertime.
Really?
Yeah, we do. We see people lose feet, even toes, and we're in the middle of what we call Socktober right now. We're gathering up as many socks as we can. And make sure that people keep those toes and feet warm and dry. So,
Aaron, I'm curious, because we talked about the homeless population, we talked about the unsheltered population. What's the difference? Is it all the same terminology, or what's the best to use?
Well, there is a breakdown in what we call homelessness and unsheltered. You've got people that stay in the shelter system, and then you've got people that sleep unsheltered and what we call sleeping rough, sleeping in alleyways or in their car or in tents and encampments. And so, we've got sheltered and unsheltered homelessness. And there, we break that down into people in shelter system and people that are, outside. And so that's the difference.
Okay. I was curious about that, because some people will say, well, that's a woke term. Well, it really defines it better than just saying homeless. That's just kind of an overall umbrella from what you're saying to me. And I don't expect you to have the answer for this in this short segment, but root causes of homelessness. Why does this happen?
Many, many, many reasons. We've seen, we saw the pandemic cause it. We've seen, we see evictions, we see domestic violence, we see, we do see drug addiction, we see many things. We see, we see people working 2 or 3 different jobs, and trying to.
That's the surprising thing about it. The number of people that are working yet don't have a place to live.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things that surprises me about that. And I bring that back from the first time I became aware of it. My church did a mission trip. We went to Denver, and there were people that were walking around in a nice shirt and nice tie and slacks, and all their belongings were in a backpack because they didn't make enough money, even though they had a white collar job, didn't make enough money to pay rents.
Well, I compare it this way to a lot of people, and we look at the last homeless numbers that we had. Unfortunately, the numbers haven't been released for the count that took place earlier this year. Mm-hmm. So the numbers that we have are old, from 2019, but they revealed over almost 600 people sleeping outside unsheltered. And so I ask people all the time, when you go through town, do you see 600 people outside? And they say, well, no, I don't see 600 people, but you do. They just don't look homeless in our stereotypical way. They look like you and I.
Right.
They're dressed like you and I, but they're sleeping outside.
What about people that we see on the street corners? I know that becomes a bother for a lot of people. They have a sign up, give me money, whatever. Is that homelessness, or is that a scam, or are we even able to define that? Is it a little of both?
It's a little bit of both. We do see people that, homelessness and panhandling are not synonymous, and that's what we try and tell people all the time. The overwhelming majority of homeless people have not held a cardboard sign. But I've known people who, I use my friend Danny Mack, and he had a medical condition, where I use him a lot. And he knows that I talk about, his condition a lot of times, where his fingers grew back into the palms of his hands. And he wasn't even able to get a job as a telemarketer because he couldn't hold a telephone.
Oh, wow.
And so what he could use was his thumbs. And so he could hold a sign, and so that's how he got by.
Yeah.
That's how he got by, and so we looked for opportunities all the time, for what he was able to do, but in that moment, that's what he could do to get by, and so that's what he did. So, who am I to judge in that situation? What we did was try to make sure that he was okay, for now. And then we explore opportunities for what's the next best thing. What can come next for you, and that's what we try to do at the van, is explore opportunities for what can be the next best thing for you.
Let's get into that too, if we could. I'm Kevin. This is Community Connections. I'm here with Aaron Reddin with the van. You've got some big plans with what's happening with your organization too. You've got, you call it the Back Five. That's a farm where you're doing things, but you'd also like to build shelters and build some sort of a temporary situation for people that are on the street.
We would like to, we've got a farm where we're growing food and opportunities, as we like to say for folks. We're creating jobs for people. We would like to expand that, one day to where we're able to, to grow beyond that. We're not there yet, but right now we're focusing on creating jobs for people through agriculture, through local agriculture.
Very good. All right. If you want to help, and I think that this is something that's very important, the organizations will be there at the Unsheltered Outreach event on the 21st. But if you have something to contribute, especially if it's like something along the lines of like personal hygiene items for men and women, socks, gloves, hats, mosquito spray, flashlights, things of that nature. Most of the things are going to be smaller, but we're collecting that at both of our library locations on Orange Street, right here by the high school, and also Main Street and Argenta. We really can't take things that are used. We can't take used clothing and the like. If somebody wants to donate that, what would they need to do? Would they need to contact the van directly, or what's the plan there?
Yeah, they can hunt us down. Itsthevan.org, ITSTHEVAN.org. You can find a list of our drop-off partners. We have several permanent drop-off partners across the metro. You can drop off clothing and things like that at. We've got several places listed on there that you can conveniently drop off at. So,
and things don't have to be expensive. I mean, it could be anything. It can be for men and women. There is a fairly large population of female unsheltered ladies. I lost the word that I was going to use with that. But yeah, there is a very, you kind of, I guess, stereotypically think it's a guy, but there are women that need help too. So
absolutely.
Personal hygiene items are welcome. Just some basic things to kind of give you, think about it, just your own personal dignity with that. And it helps them give them a step up regardless of the reason why. Officer Rathy is going to be doing this for the City of North Little Rock. There's information on the City of North Little Rock pages. We've got information too on our Facebook page and website, so you'll find information there about that also. Aaron, anything else that people might need that we've missed out on? We've got Socktober. We're trying to collect some of these personal items. Anything else that we need to do? Is food an issue? Is that something too, or?
Food is not a huge issue. For this event, they've got several food sponsors, that you can find on the flyer that are taking care of food. There's a lot of great people in this town that take care of food for folks on an ongoing basis. So if you're going hungry in this town,
Well, I'm not. It shows sometimes, but that's okay. In all seriousness, we really do want to help our homeless, unsheltered population. And so check out the website, the Facebook page for the van, and also for the North Little Rock Public Library. And don't be hesitant to be able to give to this event too. So, Aaron, thank you so much for being here on Community Connections. I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you,
for
North
coming
Little Rock.
back in. We'll catch you next time.